What keeps you motivated? What keeps me motivated? Well, in short, I'm here. All of my dreams and aspirations are here. And the only thing in between these two is a bunch of work. So tackling that work is a way of moving this needle. That's all the motivation I need. I love progress in any manifestation.
Art support.
My counterintuitive advice is just the power of brute force. And I mean that. I think that it's always about intellectualizing and thoughtfulness and listening to more podcasts and reading more books and all of that. But I think at the end of the day, like it is brute force. It is hard work. It is an absolute unwillingness to accept failure, to accept no. And that's true with fundraising, and that's true with ideation. And that's true with making a YouTube video. How old am I now? 36. In the 18 years of my career, I found that to be the one sort of consistent, the one constant through everything. In any version of success, it's been because of an absolute reluctance and of that sort of brute force. I will not stop moving until I achieve what I want to succeed, or what I want to achieve. And every time that I would identify as a failure, it was because of a lack of that, or questioning of that. It was just like, no, let's just keep going, heads down, keep moving, keep pushing, keep pushing. And I think that is not sexy advice. That's not romantic advice. That's not something that can be analyzed and broken down. But I do think it's absolutely pivotal for any kind of success in life, is to embody that in everything you do. You know, the advice I give generically always is like, if the content you're sharing isn't about you and your unique voice, you're going to really struggle. And I think still, and I think this will probably always be the case, one of the biggest hurdles, one of the biggest hardships of YouTube is that it's dominated by novices. Everyone on that platform, for the most part, that's found success, including you and me to some degree, is that like, we didn't have a background in filmmaking. Most people don't have a background in filmmaking. Most people don't have a background in storytelling. The people that do, like that I know of, you can count on one hand. Like Peter McKinnon was a filmmaker before he started on YouTube, and he's fantastic.
Yeah, amazing.
But a lot of my favorite creators, Mr. Beast, you know, like I had no background in this world, and he's crushing it. He's crushing it. Like these huge superstars, Emma Chamberlain, none of them have backgrounds in media. So then they're inspiring entire generations who have no background, but they have the same tools, a high-def cell phone camera and an internet connection.
Sure.
And they dive into it. They run right back at it. And what ends up happening is these people that are diving into it with no experience are like, what do I do? Let me do what they're doing. And in the process of that, you just start to get a photocopy of a photocopy of a photocopy. And everybody knows like the second photocopy is never as crisp as the original. And the third one's not as crisp as the second. By the time you get... So my generic advice always is like, make sure you find your own thing. The best piece of advice I have for someone trying to succeed in the film industry or any creative space is, if you're doing what everyone else is doing, you're doing it wrong. Somebody said something mean to me yesterday on Twitter. Here's the thing about being mean. It's a lot easier to be mean than it is to be nice. So mean people, on top of being jerks, they're also lazy and they're uninventive. Being nice takes work. That's why I really like people that are really nice. You've worked on some awesome projects with awesome clients. Beyond making great work, what do you do to find these opportunities? Typically, opportunities are created, not found. I've always created opportunities by like taking really big risks. I made a whole bunch of movies that I paid for myself that were really hard to do, and I had no idea what the outcome might be, but it's because I did the work first that these opportunities were created. What is freedom? Freedom for me is waking up in the morning and going to sleep at night, and in between doing exactly what I want to do. What's the secret to happiness? The secret to happiness is finding something you love and then doing that for the rest of your life. I stole that from Rushmore. What was life like in your mid to late 20s? A really smart person told me, you spend your 20s figuring it out and your 30s doing it. And that's exactly how I would describe my mid to late 20s. I was trying a bunch of things, I was succeeding in some places, I was failing in others, and that's true for my work, and that's true for my love life, that was true for every facet of my life. And towards the end of my 20s, I really started to feel like I got a grip on things. Yeah, ever since I turned 30, I feel like the trajectory has been vivid, and it's just full steam ahead. What would be a good first job for someone who wants to be an entrepreneur later on? Tori, Get as close to the fire as humanly possible. If there's someone you admire, if there is a company that you like, get a job pushing a mop, sweeping a broom, whatever it takes. The closer to the action you can be, the more you're gonna learn. Don't worry about money or position. It's where you are that matters most when you're first starting out in your career. Unless you know exactly what you want to be doing, I recommend getting a job digging ditches or washing dishes or picking up garbage. If you don't know what you want to do, get a job doing something you hate, because you will spend every minute of it fixating on what you wish you were doing, and that is invaluable. I thrive on the constant stress that is having more things that I need to do than I have time to do them. I always keep a backlog of things that I need to do just in case I have a free moment so I can do that. I never want free time. Free time is the enemy of progress. I always made a living so I could make movies. I never made movies to try and make a living. And I think that's a big mistake that a lot of newcomers do, is that they focus on how can my passion pay me. And I think that's a terrible place to start. If the reason why you're doing anything creative is to make a living, then you're doing it wrong. You get into it because it's a true passion. It's something you really believe in. Or don't get into it at all. I say this about any regrets or any things from my past that I wish I had done. I'm so happy with where I am right now in life. I never look back and say I wish I had done things differently.